Another episode of Too Cool to Con, and like I always say, none other than Reggie Wright Jr. How you doing today, Reggie?
Respect me, Reek. How you doing? Happy holidays to you and your channel.
Most definitely. I was gonna say you must have been taking a little break because I ain't seen you on Bond First.
What'd you say?
I said you must have been taking a little break or something because I ain't see.
Just took a little break. We just backed off a little bit. Been doing a couple of other little episodes with Nutso and now.
Okay.
And the people not get so burnt out on me. So we just took a little hiatus, but we could probably do some taping this weekend.
Okay.
So we have coming up during the Christmas holidays.
All right. Well, what I always try to do, I try to throw alternatives that you probably ain't answered on your other spots that you appear in, and hopefully it leads to some more questions when you do your main thing. So that's what's up.
Much respected. Anything you ever need me to address, make sure you tap in and hit me because you got a direct line to me and say, nigga, you need to talk about this or you need to get on this subject.
Right.
And I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Now the first one I'm gonna hit you with, I don't know if you address it anywhere else, but what do you think about R. Kelly releasing that music while he's still behind bars? Is that a benefit or that's you don't think that'll help his situation?
Well, it just is get out there to see who. Now you see who's supporting you and who's not.
Right.
And so whatever radio platforms or streaming lines that support you, then you always fuck with you when you get from up under stuff. So I believe in doing stuff like that because I like to know where people stand.
Right.
Sometimes you have people when you're up, they're your biggest supporters. But when you're down, they don't want to do with you. Mm-hmm. Stick with me when I'm doing good. Stick with me when I'm doing bad. Those are the ones I want to know, so I can always show them love and respect. So that's the positive that I think you get from it. If it's helping him generate anything, just so he can still live comfortably and take care of people that he loves and he needs to take care of on the outside, then hey, let's do it.
Right.
I'm not one for hate on, but we all make mistakes and all of that. And the stuff that R. Kelly getting in trouble for, man, that's a 50-50 thing, A lot of the young ladies were not as victimless as they portray to be.
Right.
In my opinion.
I think that too. Matter of fact, too, the families too. If you let your daughter go off somewhere with some stranger, I think they should be held accountable too. But a lot of people don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. When we watched that show on Lifetime, it exposed a lot of the parents and stuff like that. But I know I have 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, and I done had 18, 20-year-olds. Can we really tell them motherfuckers anything?
Yeah, that's true.
Man, you be wanting to knock them out, man. Like, what the heck? Can you really tell them anything? So sometimes they do have to go through trials and tribulations before. Now, let me say that. I say that for 18 and above. 16, 17, man, we got to take care of them like we take care of our newborns, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'll backtrack that a little bit. But, the situation with Sparkle, we all saw that.
Right.
Look how many times we kept supporting art after that.
Mm-hmm.
Just like poor Bill. Like Bill, he ain't forced none of that stuff down none of those women's mouths.
Right.
And just because, he said, hey, this is how this make me feel. Take this. And you take it. Now I got a problem. I got a problem with that, bro.
Yeah.
Especially when you're adults.
Mm-hmm.
But, Deshaun Watson is another situation. I still don't understand that. How are they going to be criticizing this man just because I asked you, a grown lady, to do X, Y, or Z to me, and you tell me no, and I don't force you to do it? I don't have a problem with it, dog. I still don't see how this man is under the scrutiny that he's out there.
Right.
Because he asks. Now, take it.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
But if I ask someone to do something to me and they said no, and I don't force them, I don't get it.
Right.
Don't get it.
Now, since I know you know a lot about the record business. Tell me what you think of this situation. I mean, I don't know if I think it's old, but how social media, they breathe new light onto certain situations. The situation with Ice-T and Jay-Z about the 99 Problems song. Like, how does that go about, basically how he was saying, like, he did a song with Brother Marquise from 2 Live Crew.
Okay.
And I guess that was back in like 94 or something like that. Okay. Jay-Z redid it in 04, I want to say. But I guess Chris Rock said, oh yeah, Ice-T got this song and it sound good. And he put it in Jay-Z's ear. Jay-Z and Rick Rubin bought the publishing. But when he put it out, he made it seem like this is what I created instead of saying I got this from Ice-T, to the public.
Did he say that? Did he say that, or did he just got his credits the way he's supposed to? That's the key. Did he really say that? But if I buy something for you and you sell it outright and don't retain a percentage of it, it's mine. That's just like the house that I'm in right now.
Right.
We bought this house. We didn't build it.
Right.
But the owner come and say, hey, that's my creation. I said, no, motherfucker, I bought this house. It's mine now, and you ain't welcome here.
Okay, I understand where you're coming from. I guess people look at it from like the entertainment perspective. Like, well, since Ice-T has been in the rap game so long, you would think a person would give credit where credit is due. But
now, what I'll be wrong at, and where Jay-Z would be wrong at, if he denies it.
Okay.
Or if he had always said, I'm the creator of this.
Right.
And he just got caught in a lie.
Okay.
But just because I never spoke on it, and it never was addressed,
right. That makes
I wouldn't
sense.
address it either.
Okay. Let me follow one. Okay, what do you think about the situation that happened with Rappin' Forte and Drake when Drake used one of Rappin' Forte's line from the Players Club and he ended up having to pay him for that?
But that happens a lot. Okay. I mean, the big one was our white boy that did it to you remember the boy Alan Thicke, son?
Yeah.
When he did it to Marvin Gaye and their family.
Right.
So that happens a lot. But once you go ahead and prove it, then you're going to have to pay. California Love. The dudes, Laylaw and them, they produced that song. And Drake took credit for it. And, he had to end up paying and making a settlement with them. So people steal people's ideals and take credit for stuff. But when you get caught, you got to pay. But do you own every word? Snoop and Exhibit made Bitch Please big. So every time you say Bitch Please, do they supposed to get paid on it? It's all about how you say it. Does it make me think of the way Snoop and Exhibit said and that song Bitch Please? Does it make me think of that song or that line whenever you use the word, hey, bitch, please?
Right.
I say it like that. But man, they've been doing that. That's what our boys in the back in the day used to be mad at for the day, rock and roll. When Little Richard and all them said, these motherfuckers have changed our songs, and they singing it now. They got the #1 song in the world, but that was our song.
Right.
When the Beatles and all of them taking when it slowed it down to how the white folks liked it. And so that's something that goes on. But once it's proven. And the whole key to, does it make me think of that song, the previous song or the original song when I hear it?
Right.
If it makes you think of that song or that melody, then you got to pay, and they are considered the writers, and they own the writer's credit on that.
Now,
there's plenty of songs that we can think of that people, Puffy with Missing You.
Yeah.
I can go down. I can think of songs all day and just tell you. I remember Smokey Robinson had one, and then somebody came and did a remix of that. And we were loving it back in the 80s and the 90s. My daddy said, man, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles did that song originally. And so, that happens. People does it. And trust me, a lot of times people do it and pay it. Puffy the king of it. That's why Puffy didn't make as much money as a lot of people think. In the 90s. Because he was sampled to hell. If you think about songs in the mid-90s, if you go listen to stuff, you didn't hear all that samples like you do. But Puffy made it big. And he did a great job with it in my mind. And it allowed people to make some money that wasn't making any money.
Right.
Off of something old. So I don't mind samples. Just like you said, as long as you get your credit. And people that originally get the tracks get their benefit from it.
But what you
That's where a lot of artists mess up from, where you don't go get it clear in advance, where you can say, I'm about to blow this song up. Give me a percentage of it. Only, you can still make your little bit. Let me make some.
Right.
But when you get caught doing it, so you don't get permission, guess what you lose? 100% of that song. Because all you got to do is go and say, hey, that's my song. They didn't have my permission. I want to take it off the shelves. And usually you just say, no, you just generate and you make all the money off of that song. Yeah. So that's why you have what you call clearance, where you got to get clearances from artists.
Right. Now, what you said earlier, I mean, you said it real quick, but I ain't never heard that before when you said California Love was made by Laylaw, and, it wasn't Dre's creation.
They did the original. They sued Dre behind that.
Ooh.
Because they did the original beat to it.
Dang.
Yeah, so Laylaw and them, they don't, and that's why they were upset. That was the whole thing. And even now we getting the money now and all of that. We could have made more money. That was their biggest claim. Because people would have came to us for songs where they know we did these type of beats. But y'all didn't give us credit on the album. And so people don't know that we need great producers. They think Dr. Dre need great producers. But we did this song. We did the only thing he did was add Roger Troutman and his verses. Most people don't even know it was originally all Dre, 100% Dre song on it. Dre was rapping on it. The Suge had to convince Dre into letting, because we knew it was a hot song and a big beat.
Right.
But that's when Suge, when he came on, Suge had to beg Dre to let Tupac put his lyrics on it. But there's a version out there, if you go check on the internet, with Dre, California Love, and then Tupac and Dre, California Love. Okay. And then a remix version of California Love. So it was like 3 different versions out there. That's why you had the 2 different videos. You had the ghetto version, the one that Suge loved, the one that actually got on the album when we did it at the big house, the big mansion and the pool and all of that. Then you had the Mad Max video.
Right.
For California Love. So that was the reason. Those are 2 different tracks. One that was done by Laylaw, and then one Dre just took the bass line from it and he made it his own. So you had 2 versions out there.
Now I got a big one for you. I don't know how you're gonna think about this, but I've been my partner put it in my ear. I was like, you know what? Them is similarities if you look at it, but I gotta run it by Reggie and see what he think. Now, could your position at Death Row the whole time that you was there be looked at as the character Robert De Niro played as Sam Ace Rothstein in the movie Casino when he had multiple job titles?
I always said I had multiple job titles. That was my always said. I said I never even had a title. I used to just call myself the runner, the in-between guy. I just later on started calling myself the general manager when we started getting lawsuits and stuff when I had to go to testify in court. To say that Suge ever gave me a title, he didn't, to be honest.
Okay.
We never had a title given. It was just like, hey, get with Reg, he'll make it happen.
Right.
Or, Reg, make that happen. So to say that you was this person or this person, I'll be lying to say that we ever sat down and came up with a title. But the guy that I had replaced prior to me, that was sitting in my position, he had the title of general manager, so and I fired him. When he was working there, I still had, I think in my mind, a little bit more juice than him.
Yeah.
So maybe I took a backseat. So I don't know which was his brother-in-law, Norris Anderson. So who knows? But I started dealing with the day-to-day operations that he was responsible for as well. Maybe I assumed more responsibility. Yeah,
because my partner is like, man, that movie popped off in like 95, and that's when Rez was really big there. I'm like, man, that damn near dude kind of mirror, him having all the responsibilities to, run the record label and everything.
I just call it the man next to the man. Yeah, but hey, it was just a marriage that happened for those 6 or 7 years, and then we both moved on.
Yeah. Now, a new one that popped up recently, I guess with Quick saying that he should be in the position of Dr. Dre. What do you think about that?
Musically, I agree with him. Musically. Quick was a hell of a talent, musically, producer-wise.
Right.
But I remember this group or this female, Truth Hurts, that Quick took his final version of a song that was real hot in the mid-90s, took back to Dre and let Dre finish it and touched it. He even said, boy, after Dre got through with that song, Dre took it to another level. I didn't even recognize the song that I had originally created that Dre made it a hit. And so Dre was a finisher, man. I look at him like the LeBron James or the Kobe's and all of them in the last 2 minutes. Our boy, the football player, Tom Brady currently.
Right.
Where you might not want to watch him the first few minutes, left, of the game. But in the last 3 or 4 minutes of a game, you want them closing. And that's how Dr. Dre is. He was a hell of a closer. And musically. But that ain't where Dre made his money at, y'all. Dre made his money at, and is successful because of his ventures outside of music. Hold on, sir. Hold on. I apologize. So my point is, Dr. Dre made his money off of investments outside of music. And that's because of a tribute to this guy named Jimmy Iovine. And that's the relationship, that's the difference that Quick is missing, or the missing link is he missing that Jimmy Iovine in his life.
Well, didn't for a time he was with, was it Clyde Davis for a second on Ariston?
No, they were with Profile. I forget who Profile was signed with. Profile Records, but he was always with them. Then he went to Universal Independent with a company. But none of those guys was like Jimmy, or Clyde.
Right.
None of those guys. And that's what Quick never got for whatever reason. Because of the game banging mentality, for whatever reason. But on the music tip, as far as going in the studio making beat for beat, I agree that Quick is on his level.
Okay. Now let's see. We got another one, a person that's playing in LA, but they're not actually from LA, and they've been causing all kind of controversy. What do you think? Well, I got actually 2 questions. Do you think Kanye is talking outrageous so he can get out of contracts? Is that a way to exit out of a contract without probably, I guess?
No. I just think he just speaking being Kanye.
Okay.
And don't realize that he's costing himself money because of mental, and I don't want to call him mentally ill because the nigga's a billionaire. He done made it, but he's costing himself. He's messing up. He's not being advised. He don't have anyone in his life, like a Minister Farrakhan or somebody like that could talk to him, that he respect, or his mom or dad, that could say, hey, son. That's one thing I love about Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille always tell you, my mama told me, apologize, or you don't say that. You don't do that.
Right.
There ain't many people in Shaq like that he listen to. The nigga listen to his mama. And when you need somebody in your life that can humble you,
right,
that can pull your coattail. And unfortunately, I don't think Kanye has anybody in his life that he respects enough to pull that coattail. And until he get that, he gonna really spin out of control and keep spinning out of control, because he's a creative and a marketing genius, but sometimes you got to know when to say those things or when to place those things. And I think you got to get somebody that he can respect, that can pull him to the side and say, hey, this is not the time, this is not the place. That goes all the way back to what he did when everybody thought he was in love with Beyonce, when he went and made that statement about Taylor Swift at the award show. Who does that?
Right.
You know? Who does that? Especially when it ain't your woman. That was Jay-Z woman at the time. Was that his place?
No.
But he's been feeling like that ever since, unfortunately.
Right.
His mother died, having a procedure.
Right.
And I think that really affected him, and he didn't get the help that he needed from it. And he kept getting power or fame or money, and now he's using it, and it's going to hurt him. But hopefully, before he loses everything, he can get somebody in his life he can respect and can pull him in that can say, hey, bro, no, not right here. No, you can't do that here.
Now, this is one that someone told me, they asked me to ask you, they was like, Rick, ask Reg if he thinks there's any similarities back when, I guess they were both with the same record company, between Mark Wahlberg and Tupac, marketing-wise.
As far as Mark Wahlberg is more on, you talking about when it was with Interscope.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, that's where I hate that Pac didn't live long enough, because I really do believe Pac would be in those positions to make the real money. Because I'll be honest, in the music business, you don't make no money unless you can go and do shows. Those are the only ones that's really making the big money.
Right.
They ain't going to get $1 million. You know what, Cardi B don't brag to y'all about just dropping an album or whatever. She closes on y'all when she said, I just went and performed for 30 minutes and got $1 million.
Right.
That's where the money at, y'all. And unfortunately, Tupac didn't live in that day of age. Unfortunately, Pac didn't get to do well in the music, in the movie business, as he was paving the way for a lot of them to be. And I really do think if Pac, when eventually became a politician, he would have been big in the movie industry, and maybe like a 50. I really believe he would be like on the Mark Wahlberg and a 50 Cent level. Because I respect what both of those brothers doing in the movie industry.
Right. Now, I want to ask you a couple of things that pertain to LA. I mean, I think the rest of the country they always heard these things through, professional news outlets and things like that. But I think you have a better opinion on it. What did you think of when it was going on, Jim Brown's American program in LA? Was that like real, like how they portrayed, or was it just kind of for show?
Unfortunately, I'm about to get in trouble. With has-been gang members, that kind of was like swayed away from it and denounced their gangs and stuff like that. If it would have been with guys that were still active, that could have did it, it might have worked. But I mean, anybody, if it helped one or two people, then it was good. Okay. Which I think it did help. But I really think it could have been on a bigger level if he would have went more at the youngsters than the guys that were older.
All right.
Unfortunately, the youngsters don't listen to the olders, man. They don't respect them. A lot of the older gang members that and we respect and hear from it, We all heard about them being booty bandits in prison. We done heard about them on drugs, smoking sure, went through that crack stage and all of that, and broke. And has nothing to show for it. And you see how these youngsters living.
Right.
They walking around with Cuba Link chains and Jordans and Louis and Gucci's and all of that. And that's what impressed them. And if you ain't got that and you ain't living like that, they don't want to hear from you. I'm not saying it's the best way or the right way.
Right.
But that's just where they at. And that's where you got to be for the youngsters to give you some respect or listen to you. That's the only reason I think that Jay Prince get away with what he did, because he was still able to have his money a little bit, you know, to where God, you know, would look at him and be like, okay, he still got it.
Right.
He still got it. But the dudes that ain't got it like that, they be like, all right, old man. And they don't listen to him. And so that's you know, that's the negative that happens with programs like that. When Jim was doing it, he wasn't balling like he was. He wasn't on the sports, you know, on the sidelines and stuff like he should have been or could have been. Right. Because of his relationships and stuff like that. If a Magic Johnson probably, who was balling and doing it, was over a program like that, I think he might have got a little bit better response than a guy like Jim, who kind of didn't really make a whole lot of money and wasn't really doing it like that. But shout out to Jim Brown. Yeah, glad he tried. And he put his mouth, he put his actions to where his mouth was, where most don't do. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I never, you know, you always hear about it, but you never really hear like if it was really effective, like how, you know, they portray on the news and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know too many guys that was in the program. Yeah.
Now another one, I know a lot of youngsters might be like, I never heard of this, or I only heard one account, but back in the day with Eddie Murphy, I mean, I remember them saying he got caught a few times around. Yeah, but they down talked that part. I was just wondering, was he really unfamiliar, like how they say, like he didn't know what area he was in. He was just trying to give a person a ride, and you know.
He didn't care. They didn't care. That's how they wanted. That's where they went and got what they wanted. That's what they wanted. That's what they were doing there down low. Those dudes don't talk. Those dudes didn't have tabloids and stuff back then to talk and outlets to get you the exposure and stuff. Right. But it wasn't until they got caught in those things and stuff like that that it came out. But who best to take it and have those secrets with? There's people that don't have a voice. Right. And that's why they were doing it. But that was their get down. I mean, Arsenio Hall hanging outside Magic Johnson locker room. Why do y'all really think Isaiah Thomas and Magic didn't talk? They didn't talk because Isaiah said Magic shouldn't have been swinging both ways. He shouldn't have been doing what he was doing. People forget about all that. They don't know about all that because we don't have the social media and stuff out there like that. Right. But that's why Magic was so hurt by Isaiah when he made that comment when they asked him about him having AIDS and HIV. And so I'm saying all that to say these niggas was doing all of that bullshit back then. But you know, it's so acceptable. Now, tell me a TV show right now where one of your characters is not in there that's not gay.
Right. Down there almost every.
We had the Good Times and all those shows back in our days. You didn't have that.
Right.
You can't tell me one TV show that's not on the air right now where there's not a gay character in it. They even had to do that to my Sons of Anarchy and make one of the biggest killers on that show gay. T. For those of y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Tigger, you know, you started messing with the dude in the show that was in the Shield, Shane. Well, I know a lot of y'all probably don't know what I'm talking about. But my point is, every show that be good and successful, every show that comes out now, It's like mandated. You got to have a gay character in there. Why are you saying that, Reg? I'm saying that because they're making us accept it. They're making us think it's normal.
Right.
And it's not. It's not. That's the only reason God ever got mad at man when he tore up America for. Not America. Tore up the world for. When he found out men were having sex with men and animals and stuff like that, that's when he had Noah build the ark for.
Right.
That's when he got so mad and he destroyed the earth when he found out all of that was going on. But we're back to this time where they making us feel like it's acceptable.
Right.
And unfortunately, that's what we live at. Live in an era that, okay, there's no problem with being gay. It is. That's just what God put us here for. But, hey, Reggie opinion.
I was gonna say too, I'm trying to look up the guy's name. The guy that's in Sons of Anarchy, I want to say he's a Latino dude, and he done been in a lot of movies.
Juice.
He was in, wasn't he? He was featured in The Murder Was a Case video as a reporter.
Oh, I never heard that.
Yeah. Like if it starts off with like, oh, it's been a killing and he's being a reporter. I'm like, man, that's him. I didn't even know he was, guy that started off in
that. That could have been, how actors back then.
Right.
I always thought that was Dominic Suprema, but that was on Tupac. But it could have been Juice, but his name was Juice. His character was Juice.
Okay.
Yeah, you check that out.
Yeah, let me go back to the questions real quick. Okay, so one more thing back to Kanye. Do you think what he's saying has truth, or he's just talking crazy?
A little bit both. I mean, he's telling you about how they run the industry, and you say this, and they got a problem with it, but we say this, then so we buckle it, then they get shrugged under the wall, under the rug,
right?
Or it's okay. We can say this about our people and say all that, but Kanye forgot the rules. When I say that is still, as Tupac told us in the 90s, who world is it?
White man world. Yeah.
And we forgot the rules. Now, where we messed up as a people, we talking about the blacks,
right?
Is we don't unite behind that. We don't, just like with Kyrie. Kyrie shouldn't have got in trouble like he did. He didn't do nothing wrong. Didn't violate no jobs or anything like that. That was just a man's opinion. But we all had an opinion. And we were divided.
Right.
And until we learned to all stand behind a cause like we did with George Floyd and stuff like that.
Right.
And not have an opinion and just stand behind the cause because, hey, this happened to a black or whatever. When we get separate, we're not going to be able to take stands like that. You see how they stood behind each other? Jewish people is not that big. The Jewish religion, their churches is not that big and all that. They got a lot of power and money, but they're not that big to the point where one thing they do is they stick together.
Right.
And we as a black community, we don't stick together. We go in the force. The ones that don't want to be involved, the ones that, we'll pray for it. The ones that, he shouldn't have said it. And then the ones that, do stick by it. But until we can get to be like the fist, like what the Black Panthers used to do, and ball up the fist and we can't even agree about Brittney. I saw someone, Charles Brittney said, it's a bittersweet. What's a bittersweet? We pay ransom all the motherfucking time.
For real.
We don't pay we overpay for a lot of stuff. Go get that chick out. That dude that y'all fighting for, he was really a spy. He's a fucking spy. That's why Russia playing like that. So y'all let one of our spies out, we let one of y'all spies out. Brittney, y'all just gonna pay. This is a spy. I mean, this is not a spy. I'm sorry. This is a ransom fee.
Right.
Sometimes you pay a little more. But we had to go get her out. But you got people that have a problem with her getting out for an arms dealer. Okay, the nigga did 12, 13 years on a 25-year sentence. He was about to get out in another 6 years anyway.
Right. Well, Reggie, tell me this. What do you think the difference is with her, being over there and then dude Snowden, like, hiding from the U.S. over there? Like, how's that different? I mean, it's like he's seeking refuge over there, like, because he's like, if I go back to America, they're going to do something bad to me. Because I let the people know what the government is really doing to the people.
Yeah, but we don't really give a fuck about it, as Americans, for sake,
Right.
We don't care like we care about Brittney. Brittney was real. He made a choice.
Oh, yeah, true.
Brittney was a hostage.
You
can look at it however you want. He was taken in and treated that way as like a hostage. I'm not saying I don't like to use the term falsely incarcerated because she wasn't falsely incarcerated.
Right.
But she did commit a crime.
Right.
She never denied that. But does the punishment meet the crime? Is what we could be asking.
Right.
And, okay, she also is a two-time Olympic gold medalist, no matter how we look at it.
Right.
So she still is a treasure over here. And so I don't have a problem with giving up an arms dealer for America. We can say what we want because we, may have our religion, our different opinions about her being queer and this and all that, black and all that. But she still was a American hero. When you go and win gold medals and all of that, we treat them different. They shouldn't be treated different.
Right.
But we do. That's how America, that's what capitalism is. The rich get rich, get treated different than the poor.
Right, that's true.
That's the type of country, that's the type of society we live in. We capitalists. We're not socialism.
Right.
And so I get it. And I just look at it as, hey, we pay for a high price for ransom. And I would want them to do it for me.
Right.
The other guy that was there, he knew the chance he was taking. When you sign up to be a spy.
Right.
If you get caught, there's gonna be hell to pay. But Brittney, she was trying to live her life. Go over there to support her family. And to get caught up in there, now you get people like that out.
Now tell me this, I don't know what you would think about this one, Reggie, because I just recently heard this one. It popped up on social media. It said the FBI released files on the murder of rapper Tupac Shakur in '96, revealing that the Jewish Defensive League, JDL, was suspected of extorting money from various rap music stars via death threats, including Tupac and another performer, eazy-e.
Well, that's the JDE. That was just dude that Mike Klein from the Jewish Defensive League that they put that in. That was tied with Jerry Heller.
Okay.
That's where all that comes from. But it was mainly to their handlers. They were mainly to their attorneys and people like that. It wasn't to them directly. It was to the people that work with them. The record companies, the JDL. The JDL was real big. It was a guy out there named Mike Klein that provided a lot of security and protection and for the executives that was in the game. And that's all that was.
Okay.
But it wasn't for Pac individually.
All right. Okay, that makes
people
sense.
that were surrounded around him. Ted Fields and all of them.
Because it wasn't it, then after Eazy-E died, I want to say what Jerry Heller won a lawsuit for like 150 million for Ruthless or something like that. I know he.
I don't believe that to be fact. I know him and Tamika have issues and all of that. But as I always remember, Tamika's still in control of Ruthless. But I know that was a reason that a lot of them was upset that left Ruthless was behind. They felt that Jerry had too much influence.
Well, yeah, I never heard that makes it make sense, because it's like they put it out there like, oh no, they were threatening, Tupac, and well, basically it's like you said, the executives,
not him individually,
right?
Yeah, that was just their handlers, people that worked the companies that he was associated with. They were a major force. I did an episode over on Bomb First where I talked about how David Kidder, who was our attorney, who was our Jew guy, was more fearful of the JDL and then he was of Sugar and the Crips and the PHARAOHS.
I think, like I said, every time I get you, I'll be pitching you all the questions. You be knocking them out the park, for sure.
Like I told you, I'm open book for you, brother, whenever you need me. Whenever you need me.